G'day, g'day, you beautiful human beings. How are you? I'm Hawk, or Kiv, and today I thought I would talk to you all about some of the problems with the Xbox One, and I wanted to focus on some things that should be fixed, and these are mainly problems, that I don't feel as if should be there, and that they should be fixed, or something should be done towards them to make them a little bit less frustrating. And just to make sure with all of you, I'm not hating on the console. I do enjoy playing on it. I just feel as if that these are some problems that should be fixed in order to make everyone's experience a lot more enjoyable and fun overall. So let's jump right into them. So in no particular order, let's start off with the first one, which is that you can't see when your friends come online. This is just a genuinely confusing issue. I don't know why they haven't implemented this into the Xbox One, but it's something they really should. It's just a simple fix that I reckon it should be pretty easy, I guess, but it's something that I think should definitely be in there. It was on the 360, it just said, whatever your friend's name is online. I feel as if there was quite a bit of overkill on the PS3 where it notifies you when they go offline, because you kind of know if your friends, if you're playing with your friends and they go offline, you'll know that they're offline, so I don't really see why it notifies you on that. It kind of basically clogs up the notifications and stuff, but I feel as if that having a system that tells you when your friends come online on the Xbox One is a lot better. For example, something that happened to me quite recently was I promised a friend that I would go online and play with them, except when I came online they weren't, so I popped on the Xbox One, decided to play for a little bit, and then I got a message from them about 2 hours later saying, dude, I've been on for the past 2 hours, why haven't you send me any invites or party invites? And I had no idea that they were online. So that's just pretty much a problem I feel that is really simple, and it kind of stops you from playing with your friends in a way. Not really stops, but it just makes things harder to play with them. It doesn't notify you when they come online, and that doesn't make things easy to play with them. So that's a simple issue I think should be fixed, and that it should definitely be in there ASAP. So moving on to the second one, we have it's not easy to just genuinely understand how the system works. And to put it simply, it's not very user-friendly. I feel as if there's too many fancy things they try to do with different windows and separate stuff like that, making it look like Windows 8 and trying to make it look like a PC and play like a PC, but they haven't really effectively done that. And I don't feel as if it's the easiest thing to do, but to switch between menus and things like that. And they've just overcomplicated the whole process, and they haven't really made things simple and easy like it was on the 360 to do things. And I think that this could take time to refine it or something like that, but they could also try and make a couple of steps to, maybe put a tutorial in there for new users and things like that, that may not have the greatest experience with the console and things like that. So that's probably something they should consider to solve this problem. It's a pretty simple one, but it's also very general. So moving on to the third reason, it's that Skype calls, when you actually are in them, it puts your voice into the game audio as well. So say for example, I'm in a Skype call, I'm talking to my friends on their PCs and stuff like that. Cool feature, like that a lot, but the people in the game chat can still hear my voice, which doesn't make any sense because they can't hear the people I'm talking to on Skype. So you can't have a legit conversation without everyone being confused to the shitters about, what's going on. I was happening to, play Battlefield 4 as you do, and in a Skype call with my friends on PC, as they do. I like it that I can actually talk to my friends that just play computers and stuff like that. So that's good, but pretty much I could not have a decent conversation with them because half of them couldn't hear the other half. So I was playing Battlefield 4 at the time, and then these guys, the guys I was playing with in the game, they were just like, what the hell is this guy on about? He must be smoking some serious shit that I would like, because he is tripping balls. That's what they were pretty much saying to themselves, because I was just talking to my friends and then they had no clue what I was saying. So that's a simple fix, and it kind of doesn't really make sense. I think that they should probably just keep the audio levels different. You know how on the 360 they had it for, if you're in a party, you're in a party. If you're in game chat, you're in game chat. Well, I think they should make it into 3 ways: party, game chat, or Skype. Choose one. You can only stay in one. Don't put one of them into 2 things. So that doesn't make any sense, and how people can't have a proper conversation, without being confused. Coming in at number 4, we have the family saying Xbox off just to piss you off. That's not the easiest thing to get used to, but say for example you have your Kinect plug-in, you're just you know what, I'm going to use these voice commands or something like that. If you want to have a video call with someone, I don't know, but you might just be using it for shits and gigs or whatever, and then says Xbox off. that turns off the console, and the only way to stop it is like Xbox cancel command or something like that to make it, get rid of the voice commands option, but it's probably not going to be able to save you, and the Xbox is probably going to turn off. That's very frustrating because it's just like someone walking up to the console and just turning it off. So I don't like that, that's for sure. But I think that a suggestion I have for it is that maybe you can change the commands. If I want to have a special voice command to say the Xbox One turn off, then, well, let's just say, for example, banana, right? If I say banana, that will turn off the Xbox One. Why can't we do something like that? It's supposed to be super high-tech this time around, so why can't we do it? I would like to have something like that, to change voice commands or maybe implement them in a different way. So that's what I think. Coming in at number 5, though, is that the long installations and downloads when it comes to turning off the Xbox due to inactivity. That doesn't make any sense because basically the game, console, has to install the game when you actually buy the game. That's fine. I'm fine with that. It becomes more like a PC, things like that, helps run the game a lot smoother or something like that and better, but generally I just don't like the idea of how it turns off the console on the long downloads due to inactivity. I'm not the best with the Xbox One systems, but is there a button to turn this off? If you do know it, then please let me know, because if not, this is a serious problem, because I don't like it how I have to usually just sit there reading a book, half the time moving the controller ever so slightly, just to tell it I'm still here and I'm not inactive, so don't turn the console off. I'm downloading a bloody game. There should be probably like a download setting, or it should be smart enough to know, this person's downloading something, let's just not turn it off, or there should be an idea not to make it turn off due to inactivity. Honestly, I don't really understand about that. And coming in at number 6, we have the price. It was more expensive from the base with the Kinect, and I don't like the idea of how they love the Kinect so much, but then people just don't have the option to take it out. I really happen to admire the fact that they're so proud of it and how it's high-tech and everything like that, but having it constantly, with that idea of of the console watching you and everything you do, I just don't like that, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable with that either. So that's just a genuine thing that people aren't, really too fond of, and I don't think that they should be trying to enforce that from the start. Of course, there's going to be those later models that don't have the Kinect, but that's probably something they should have implemented or thought of at the very least from the start. Coming in at number 7, you can't casually say something to the actual Kinect. I can't just on the fly say something to the Kinect and it will respond. If I have to say something, it's usually very clearly, and I have to stress the actual words and say it slowly. I can't just be playing a game casually and just be like, Xbox, do this or whatever, and it'll do that. It usually just won't understand it, and I won't be able to have that ability to just freely control it with the Kinect and the voice commands. Of course I can do it, but it still has to be within the actual proper limitations of the Kinect. I think that there should be an idea of it getting a bit more used to your voice and how you talk. Maybe you talk a bit faster, or maybe you talk a bit slower. It should be able to slightly adjust to that and have a bit more of a range in how it understands that, or maybe have some suggestions. Did you mean this when after you say it? And it might sound similar to something because you might have maybe missed a word or something like that, and then you can say, yes, I didn't mean that, and then it will agree to it and do that. Something like that, just some key suggestions, to keep in mind for that. So coming in at number 8, there's no way to check your achievements easily. You have to actually go into the achievements app, and except for that, you can't just hit the dashboard button, go into your achievements, and not to mention you can't see it from a 360, because I know that for a fact it just says Xbox One achievements. It doesn't actually go into it. I don't know why it does that, but pretty much that's just what happens. I like the idea of everything being in a separate menu. You have to just scroll through everything of that and then go through a different loading screen just to see your achievements. Whereas on the Xbox 360, you could have just hit the dashboard button, go to achievements, you see the gamer score, and then you can also just go scroll across, and you can go into your party and things like that. It's an easier system, and it's more simple, and it's more user-friendly. That was just the best drop shot straight up from the host migration. That LMG kid had nothing on me. Second VSAT for the life. Yeah, buddy, let's go. So, coming in at number 9, it's the unfortunate truth that Skype is stuffed and you can't answer calls. Even if I sign into Skype, I can't properly just answer a call as soon as someone calls me on the PC. I have to hold the button, then go into Skype, go into a massive loading screen, and just be like, oh, missed the call. Shit. Okay, well, that's a problem. Go back into the game. Okay, then, well, it's calling again. Oh, you're just going to go into it. Okay, oh, no, you missed him again. Oh, sorry, that loading screen is just too long. So that's an absolutely massive pain in the ass, because it's just such a long system and so many menu screens, and it just isn't as simple when it's supposed to be next gen and faster. It is just somehow slower and more sluggish and doesn't make as much sense. It isn't easier, and it just doesn't happen to flow as well. So to keep number 10 nice and short, it's a massive console. It's bigger than the PS4, and it's also bigger than the 360. This is mainly because they didn't want it to be overheating and stuff, and that was the problem behind the red ring. So that is a massive bonus, and I really, really like it in a way, because it doesn't happen to be a massive problem with red ringing and shutting down on you. So that's good, but it is also limiting space, because not everyone has that size, that just allows you to keep both of your consoles near your TV if you have the 360 as well. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. This was the reasons and problems that should be fixed with the Xbox One. So leave a like, comment, favorite, and or subscription. I'm Hawk, or Kiev, and I'm out.